Welcome to Inside the Huddle with Missoula Youth Football, featuring the players, coaches, and volunteers that make MYF a league with a purpose. And now the host of Inside the Huddle, Dominic Shelden.
Welcome to Inside the Huddle with Missoula Youth Football. I'm Dominic Shelden. Over the next half hour, we'll feature highlights from the 2012 championship games and hear the experiences of players and coaches within Missoula Youth Football. We start off today with Missoula Youth Football League Commissioner Mike Leary. Welcome, Mike.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then we'll start off, you developed this new league.
Yep.
Why?
Well, primarily we wanted to create a youth football program in Missoula that puts kids in the best position to have success as they get older and progress into the middle school and high school ranks.
And then I know you guys wanted to make sure that this was a true nonprofit. All the board members are not coaches, so why was that so important to this group?
Well, it's critical to us to have board members be board members and let coaches be coaches because it provides an outlet for parents to know exactly how the structure of the organization works. And we also wanted to make sure that the nonprofit status didn't jade our processes in any way. We're a full 501c3 nonprofit organization with the IRS.
And then I know we have a lot of different age groups, so what grades are participating in Missoula Youth Football?
Sure. Missoula Youth Football is open to all kids entering 3rd through 8th grades.
Perfect. And then going forward, one of the things that's unique about Missoula Youth Football is the length of field, full 100 yards.
Yep.
So why was that so important to you guys?
Well, we felt that playing on regulation football fields actually adds an element of safety to the game, which is a huge initiative for our program. And the wide field spreads the game out and gives the kids more space to operate in. So we've got the full length fields, width and length, the whole works, with goalposts, the whole deal.
Very nice. And you mentioned safety is such a key part of this, and we'll get into that more in just a little bit with some of our later guests. But why is safety so important to you as a parent and as a league commissioner?
Well, first of all, as a parent, and as a fan of football, I love the game of football, and I want to do everything I can to be a good steward of the game. And our program, our board members, our coaches, our players, our parents, we also want to protect this game. Obviously, there's a lot of attention being paid to youth sports and safety in general, and we just want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to make this game safer and more enjoyable for all of our participants.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Mike. We
Thanks
appreciate
so much.
it. Certainly. We'll switch gears real quickly and take a look at the highlights from the 3rd and 4th grade American League Championship game played under the lights at Washington Grizzly Stadium between the Chargers and the Ravens. Telling us more about that are Mountain West Bank Charger Austin Christensen and his coach, Sean Christensen.
I'm Austin, and I play middle linebacker in Missoula Youth Football, and I go to Target Range School, and I'm gonna go to Big Sky High School. My favorite play was probably the only touchdown we got. It was the QB sneak. So TJ, the quarterback, was running to the touchdown, and we only had like 3 blockers, and at the end, Logan, my friend, who's a blocker, he blocked for the winning touchdown.
TJ Roush goes into the end zone for the Chargers, touchdown!
The first year was amazing, and going, being 3rd and 4th graders, I had no idea that it was going to be as good as it was. No, MYF just made it so easy to be a coach, helping wise and stuff. And as far as the kids with safety, all the gear we had and stuff was just top notch, and it was a great year. It was pretty amazing.
I like it because, well, like in tackle, you get to get dirty because, like, my mom always says, don't get dirty. So it's like a time when I can just get dirty and have fun and hang out with my friends.
For one thing, with football, being in a team, and with Missoula Youth Football, all these kids will stay together until, they'll never be split up like next year. They'll all have the same, it just builds kind of a family.
I think it's really cool because it's like, it'll give me an experience, or all of us an experience, of what it's gonna be like to be in high school football, Missoula Youth Football, and college football.
We had to simplify it a little bit just for 3rd and 4th. We had to change the names of the holes and stuff. I mean, we basically tried to run the same offense as Big Sky does. Us being a Big Sky team, that's what we go straight out of that playbook. But for 3rd and 4th, we had to simplify it a little bit.
I thought I had the best coach in the world because he's my dad right here. Well, it was like a dream, kind of. It was like, I didn't think this would happen, but it did. It was the greatest time of my life, probably. And I can't wait for the next championship game, too, next year.
You're watching Inside the Huddle with host Dominic Shelden.
And welcome back. Now, football is a fun game that should be taught and played with safety as a priority. And because of that, Missoula Youth Football is one of 100 leagues chosen by the USA Football to have a former NFL player appointed to that league as an ambassador to their Heads Up program. Not only is he a former NFL player, he's also a former National Grizzly champion. We welcome in Blaine McElmurry. Blaine, how are you?
Good, Dominic. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being with us. And first off, explain to me, what exactly is Heads Up?
Heads Up Football is a program designed by the NFL with 4 main points involved to encourage safety. The areas are coaching, education, concussion awareness and prevention, proper equipment fitting, and also proper tackling.
Fantastic. And I know as part of that, you brought along a little video clip to explain some of those practices and teachings.
Yes, I brought one with me here. This is a sample of one of the training videos. This one here goes through proper tackling techniques.
The 5 fundamentals of the heads-up tackle are the breakdown position,
Feet. Squeeze. Back nice and tight. Sink. Hands.
buzzing the feet,
Widen that base. Come to balance. Heel to toe. Quick feet, boys. Quick feet.
feet.
The hip position. Tack step downhill. Keep that head up. See what you hit. Sink in that hip position. Load to explode. Shoot. Explosive opening of the hips. Throw those hands. Hips and hands, hips and hands. Power. And rip. Perfect double uppercuts.
Dip, rip.
Rip. Get to that backside. We're gonna put the front of the shoulder on him. Strike up and through. Work up and through. Slide that head to the side. Eyes up. Rip and shoot. Rip and shoot. Good work.
And then not only are you aware of these trainings, but you make sure that every coach in the Missoula Youth Football League is also up to certification standards, correct?
Yes, it's part of the whole Heads Up program. The whole idea is that we get all these coaches educated. In fact, they're not going to be allowed on the field to coach your child until they have passed the USA Football accredited coaching program. And it's great because as a parent, you can be comfortable knowing that your child's safety is the league's #1 priority.
And as a parent, if you have any more questions, where should they go to visit and find out more?
They should go to MissoulaYouthFootball.org, click on the Heads Up Football logo, and there you can find other similar video programs.
Well, thank you, Blaine. We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you.
And now we go back to the highlights of the 3rd and 4th grade championship game between the Chargers and Ravens. This time we feature the Alamo Rent-A-Car Ravens with Kevin Hannenberg and head coach Josh Klusewicz.
My name is Kevin, and I played for the Ravens. I go to Frenchtown School, elementary, and I'm 3rd grade. I think I'm gonna go to Frenchtown High School. Most of the fun was playing with my friends and sometimes tackling people, and sometimes I would see Jace or Brody make a touchdown and stuff like that, and that would be cool.
They were just really fired up before the game even started, excited at that age. Great age to be able to play in the stadium like that. Atmosphere was just perfect. Just something they'll never forget. You know, kids they've grown up together, so they know what each other can do, and just put it together. They really did well all the way around, offense and defense.
And to the house he goes. A 58-yard touchdown run by Jace Klusewicz.
Like you say, most of them are going to grow up together, stay as a team together, play Frenchtown High School together. So Missoula Youth helps make that tradition happen. You got a fumble.
The fumble recovery. Jace hit the guy and he dropped the ball. I got the ball, and I was gonna think of running it back to the touchdown, but I just said whatever.
Oh, they all thought they were the Super Bowl champs, I think. So they just had smiles from ear to ear, and I still hear about it, so we know that it was really important.
Pretty much said, like, I'm so glad we won the game. We yelled and we talked to our parents. We were just like, this is awesome.
Our next guest was also a Grizzly standout on the gridiron. Now you can hear him on the radio airwaves as the voice of the Grizz, Missoula Youth Football Director of Community Outreach, Scott Guernsey. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you very much, Dom. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And so you have been a part of this Missoula football community for a while. Why did you want to get involved in this new league?
Well, number one, I wanted to give back to the game of football that gave me so much. When I was asked to be on the board, I really wanted to emphasize getting back to the regionalization of teams. You know, Missoula hasn't had a state championship in football since 1994, and we felt that we could be a big part in trying to change that.
Absolutely. And speaking of those local ties to the high schools, we were able to catch up with all the AA schools' coaches and get their thoughts on the new league.
I think the biggest benefit of regionalization for Missoula Youth Football is the fact that kids are going to get to know me personally as a head coach. They're going to get to know the players. They're going to get to know the system. They're going to get to know about the core values of Sentinel football. And through that experience, they're going to create an allegiance of them aspiring to be a Spartan football player.
We're excited about regionalization. It's a good thing for our program and for the whole city of Missoula. It gives kids the opportunity to work with our program, work with the techniques we use, the schemes we use, the drill patterns we use, and really be able to come along through the years and understand what night football and Hellgate football is all about, and it's gonna pay dividends as we get into later years.
Regionalized football, I think, is a huge statement for our youth football programs. It allows the kids to participate on teams together, to build up and be excited about becoming a high school athlete for their particular school. Something I'm super fond about.
If Hellgate's getting better, improving their program, if Sentinel's improving their program, if Big Sky's improving their program through Missoula Youth Football, it's going to make us all rise. And all of us, it'll challenge all of us to get better. And through competition, creates better programs.
I really feel that having a tie to these programs and having a chance to meet with coaches who coach that, we can establish good, sound fundamentals coming up, because having those base structures that will enable them to come into high school with a really good foundation and fundamentals of football. Instead of spending the first week teaching what a three-point stance is, we were moving beyond that to be a little more in depth on the fundamental skills they'll need to be successful.
Missoula Youth Football brings to our program, into the whole city, the expectation that high school football is going to be fun, because the coaches in the MYF are building up football, making it fun for the kids at the lower levels, and it's just going to grow football, and that's what it's all about.
It's that regionalization aspect that these kids are going to play at a young age together, and they're going to create a bond, and there's nothing more special than a Friday night playing football together, coming out victorious. That's a beautiful feeling that these kids are going to experience for many years.
So Scott, it's pretty clear that the high school coaches like the idea of regionalization. So I will ask, being a football expert, will this regionalization help bring a state title to the Garden City high schools?
Well, we sure hope so. The whole deal with regionalization is to have these kids play together, to come up through the ranks, and by the time they get to high school, to kind of know what's going on. I mean, in the past, you've had kids come up and not really know what to do, don't know the terminology. So with regionalization, you got the high school coaches involved. You've got their terminology, their plays starting to, work into the system. And by the time these kids get to high school, they're already a step ahead of the game. We want to get on the same page as other cities around the state, and hopefully bring that state championship to Missoula.
Absolutely. And as always, you can visit the website, MissoulaYouthFootballLeague.org. And in the meantime, we'll go to the 5th and 6th grade championship game featuring the Steelers and the Falcons. First up to talk about it, Lifestyle Fitness Falcons player Kyler Ohm and his coach Lee Harrington.
I'm Kyler Ohm. I played running back and linebacker, and I'm going to be going to college I mean, not college, high school at Florence, and played for the Falcons. It felt like a Grizz game. We were tiny on the field compared to the big guys.
Oh, the kids did great. It was unbelievable. I mean, looking at me and the rest of the assistant coaches, everybody had tears in their eyes. That was the best part of the whole season right there, with the kids running through the tunnel.
Oh, the jerseys were sweet. I liked how we had the black pants and our red jerseys, and it made us stand out pretty good. Well, when I got hit really hard out of bounds, I missed 2 people, and then I was running down the sideline, and I just got lit up.
Kyler Alm down the sideline, knocked out of bounds at the 5 by Rylan Ort. Gonna bring up a 1st and goal for the Falcons.
Oh, Missoula Youth Football is huge. I mean, it's for a small town like Florence. Missoula Youth Football brings that into one big circle right there with the fans and the parents and everybody else. And the kids being able to play with kids from their classmates and stuff like that, that's going to keep these kids together all the way through high school. So they did good, but it was just the little things that we need to clean up, you know, blocking and downfield blocking and tackling, and it was just the little things that made the difference in the game. And even though we lost it, it was a great memory.
It was like awesome, just keeping motivated and not keeping my head down, and everybody had their head up. That it's not about like winning or losing, it's about having fun and playing the sport. It was a really good experience. Just being with friends and being able to tackle people and just having fun. Oh, I'm really excited. I'm kind of bummed that we're losing some of our 6th graders that were pretty good, but I think we'll gain from our younger kids and go to the championships hopefully again.
You're watching Inside the Huddle with host Dominic Shelden.
And welcome back to Inside the Huddle with Missoula Youth Football. And not only are there plenty of football opportunities, this year you can even begin cheerleading. Here to tell us about it is Christy Anderson. Thanks for joining us, Christy.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And we'll start off, first off, why is Missoula Youth Football cheerleading different than the all-star cheerleading programs?
That will be less time commitment. They'll have practice 1 night a week. They'll have 1 team building exercise, whether it's baking cookies or making signs for the team, and then their 1 game a week.
Wonderful. And then I know the organization prides themselves a lot on community involvement. How are the cheerleaders going to be involved in the community?
We have the University of Montana cheerleaders involved. They'll be teaching them all their material, and we've also reached out to the all-star programs. We'll be reaching out to the high schools to see if those girls would like to take part in being coaches as well.
Wonderful. And then obviously cost is always a concern for any parent. So how much does it cost to enroll your child in this program?
The total cost is $100, and that gets them all of their games, practices, and then that includes their uniform, shoes, bloomers, palms, socks, bows, everything they need to hit the field.
And then as always, Christy, if anyone has any questions about cheerleading, where should they go?
They can go right to MissoulaYouthFootball.org and click on the cheer link.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to the cheerleaders on the sideline next season. And now we go back to last season where the 5th and 6th grade championship game still going on with the Steelers and Falcons. These highlights feature insight from Sleep City Steeler Rylan Ort and his coach Sean Heydrich.
I'm Rylan Ort. I played quarterback for the Steelers, and I will be going to Sentinel High School. I liked the championship game that we got to play under the lights at Grizzly Stadium. I had butterflies. I didn't know what to do. I just told them to go out and play and don't be too nervous. We settled down on the field.
right when they were coming down the ramp was unbelievable. They were pretty excited. It was a cool feeling.
Our defense played really good, and we got lots of stops and got the ball.
To be honest, it kind of went as planned. We did a lot of work during the previous weeks, and the good thing about this team is we got better every week, and I think it was evidenced by how the game was played on the field by both teams.
The coaching staff was good, and it was fun to learn the plays for Sentinel. It's kind of nerve-wracking. You want to make a good play, and you want to help your team win. It's nice to see the end zone.
I think the staff, the way Dan put everything together and brought some good packages to us as assistants, and a head guy that can do that is really important. And I think the board made sure they put the right guys in the right place. I think the connection to the high school level is the thing that everybody was looking into, and that connection's definitely there. The 4-3 defense, like I was the defensive guy, so I get that. We called it Spartan base cover 2. The kids are going to get that. They're going to understand that when they go forward. The offense, our inside zones, our wraps, our sweeps, all that stuff is the terminology basically that these kids can carry into the future. Pretty instrumental.
Guys, doubles. Z-by cross on set. Ready, break.
It wasn't too tough. It was fun though. Yeah, it was really nice. The game went good. One of the funnest things I've ever done.
Joining us now to talk about the upcoming season in Missoula Youth Football is Public Relations Director Tasha Jones. And so, Tasha, we've met with all the board members already. Tell me, what exactly does the PR director do?
My job is to make sure that we have a positive environment at all aspects of Missoula Youth Football, from the coaching to the parents to the kids. We want to make sure that everybody is having a good time in a really positive environment.
And then last year was a big-time success. What can we expect maybe that's a little bit different in Season 2 of Missoula Youth Football League?
Well, we're super excited about the addition of 7th and 8th graders to our program. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to add a whole new group of kids, a whole new group of parents and coaches, and all these kids will just roll right into the high school programs, which will be very exciting.
Certainly, and then if anyone is interested in registering, where do they do it and when do they need to do it by?
Registration is really simple at MissoulaYouthFootball.org. We have online registration available. It's very, very easy.
And how much does it cost?
It's $100, and that covers all the equipment, a practice jersey, insurance, and everything.
Wonderful. And then I'll ask you, as a mother with children in the Missoula Youth Football League, why is this the best option for local football?
For my kids, they want to play with their friends. So they want to have those teams with their neighborhood buddies and then stick with those friends all the way through the program. In addition, it's just fun. Everybody gets a chance to play. We have minimum play rules, and so they're guaranteed to get in the game, and that's really exciting for them.
That's a huge part. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tasha. We appreciate your time with us. Absolutely. That wraps things up for this edition of In the Huddle with Missoula Youth Football League. On behalf of the Missoula Youth Football League and the volunteers, I'm Dominic Shelden. Thanks for joining us.